Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and today's video is the final update in my DSi LL Saga. I bought this about 4 months ago and it's been an ongoing project. I bought it knowing it wouldn't work. I just wanted to add a DSi LL to my collection, which is a Japanese DSi XL. So like I say, I bought it, I knew it didn't work. I thought it was going to be a fairly easy fix or a bit of a quick fix, and it turned out not to be. When I bought it, it did nothing. If you plugged it in, just get an orange flashy light here. Tried all the usual fixes, checked the power board, checked all the ribbon cables on the main board, and nothing. I'd even done some continuity checks on the fuses, and nothing. So I decided that it's more than likely a motherboard has gone, so bought a new motherboard. Needed a DSi LL motherboard, which I found quite difficult to find. I ordered one from Albania. It was quite cheap, but it did have broken pins on the cart slot. Fitted it, made sure it worked, but I needed to fix the cart pins. There was two very bent pins to one end. Done a quick fix job on those. Not something I've done before, but it worked. So I did take the board out completely and take apart the cart socket to give me the best chance of fixing it, and it did. So I've got a working DSi LL which turns on, plays games, and the only issue I've had is the top screen is gone. So I thought that'd be a fairly easy job. So I bought a new screen, put that in, and then the machine wouldn't turn on. The bottom screen would just flicker white slightly, which usually means there's a problem with the top screen. But it was a brand new screen, so unless I'd done something when I put it in, then I don't know. And I went back and checked all the connections. The ribbon cable looked perfectly fine to me. I just couldn't decide what to do, so I ended up putting the old screen back in just so I had a machine that actually worked. So that is the current state of this DSi LL. I have decided that's it. This is how it's going to stay. I've got another working DSi LL, so I've got a nice one to add to my collection. But this one has been a learning curve, a work in progress, and I've got it to a point where it's usable. But I couldn't decide what to do with it. Obviously, it works, but you can barely see what's on the top screen. So I thought it would make a great emulation machine. I had wanted to install custom firmware on a DSi or a DSi XL for quite some time, but didn't want to use my main DSi to do it. So this made a perfect candidate, and it was a fairly easy job. I used the memory pit exploit. There are plenty of videos out there on how to install custom firmware on a DSi or a DSi XL or a DSi LL. This is my DSi LL, which the top screen is usable. It seems to come and go. Yesterday I had just some coloured lines here, but the rest of the screen was fairly visible. It was working enough for me to be able to install custom firmware, which you need the top screen to do. So I have now installed Twilight Menu++, and it will make a great emulation machine for anything that just uses one screen. You could run DS game off of this, but DS uses both screens. So anything that uses one screen, in particular my Game Boy Advance emulator, will work perfectly fine just on the bottom screen. Now there is a setting inside Twilight Menu which you use to tell it to go to the bottom screen. Once it's set, that's fine, everything runs on the bottom screen. And now you've got a absolutely superb screen here. The IPS display on the DSi XLs and the DSi LLs are superb, and they are a lot bigger than your regular Game Boy Advance screens. So I've got a Game Boy Advance on a super fantastic IPS display, 4.2-inch screen, and it makes playing Game Boy Advance games absolutely amazing. Now I run a lot of other emulators on this machine. I've got Game Boy emulator here. Now imagine playing Game Boy games on this absolutely beautiful screen. It's miles apart from original hardware, and it just makes the game playing experience so much better. Now with things like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color emulator, there is a menu screen which you access by pressing this button, and initially it's on the bottom screen, so you can do all your setting up, change the screen size and anything that you want to do, and your final option is to tell it to use the bottom screen. Then you save the settings. Well, you can use it on the top screen. I mean, you can just sort of scroll through and just about work out what needs to be done. If you had a fully working DSi with both screens, you wouldn't have an issue there, but I am using this machine because it's about the only thing left that it's good for is for anything that uses the bottom screen, and it is just a superb little portable emulation system. I mean, that screen is beautiful for Game Boy games, and when it comes to Game Boy Color games, and once again the screen on a Game Boy Color is absolutely enhanced by using one of these. Game Boy Color screens were super awful. Yeah, they had colour, but you could barely see it, whereas the Game Boy Color played on a DSi with its IPS screen is absolutely amazing. It's easily the best way to play Game Boy Color games, and at some point I had thought about making a DSi XL macro, so you remove the top half and you've just got this lovely wide full colour IPS display portable emulation machine. I've done it with DS Lights, I've yet to do it with a DSi, bit of a different method, but there you go, that is the final update in my DSi LL saga. This machine will live on, it's fully working apart from the top screen. I've got Twilight Menu ++ installed on it, and that's what it will be used for. And like I said, I may even turn it into a macro just to give it that nicer looking edge. So if you've been following my videos, that is it. This is the DSi LL finished to the point of where I'm going to stop before I spend any more time and money on this project and use it for what I've just described. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.